Hi everybody, it's Miss Lorenz. I'm going to go through lesson 14. This is solving equivalent ratio problems. And in this first one, we have Lynn, Diego, and Elena, and they're all reading. And we're going to look at their rate and how that applies to the question, which is if they continue to read every day at these rates, who will finish first, second, and third. All right, so what I've done here is I have Lynn here. She reads 54 pages in the last 3 days. So I'm not going to really concern myself with this 270-page book quite yet. What I want to look at is her rate. So I'm looking at the pages and the days. So I'm doing 54 divided by 3 because I want pages per day. And when I do 54 divided by 3, I get 18. So she's reading 18 pages per day. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract the 54 because it says she read those 54 pages. And she started with a 270-page book. And so she has 270 minus 54, or 216 pages to go. How long is it going to take her to finish those 216 pages? Well, if she reads 18 pages a day times a certain number of days, I'll get to 216. And so I figured out that it was 18 times 12 to get to the 216. If you're not sure how to get that 12, you can, of course, just divide 216 by 18, and it will take her 12 days to finish her book. Diego, I'm going to do something very similar here. He reads 100 pages from a 320-page book in 4 days. And again, I only want the pages and the days. So I did 100 divided by 4, and I got that Diego reads 25 pages per day. Now I'm going to go to that 320-page book. He's already read 100 pages, so he has 220 left. If he reads 25 pages per day, times how many days will it take to get to 220 pages? So I did 220 divided by 25, and I got 8 and 8/10. So since we're not going to like chop up the day, it would take him 9 days, we'll say, to finish. And so we're comparing Lynn and Diego right now. Lynn, it's going to take 12 days. Diego, it's going to take 9 days. And Elena, she reads 160 pages, and she's reading from a 480-page book. And she read for the last 5 days those 160 pages. So I did 160 divided by 5, and I got that Elena is reading 32 pages a day. And so if I subtract the 160 pages that she's already read from the 480, she still has 320 pages left to read. And so I'm going to ask myself, 32 pages per day times how many days will get to 320 pages? And that, of course, is 10. So it's going to take Elena 10 more days. And so it's going to take, I'm going to get a different color here. It's going to take Lynn 12 days to finish. It's going to take Diego 9 days to finish, and it's going to take Elena 10 days to finish. So Diego's going to finish first, Elena second, and Lynn third. Okay, in number 2, the ratio of cats to dogs in a room is 2 to 3, and 5 more cats enter the room, and then the ratio of cats to dogs is 9 to 11. So I want us to look at this ratio. If the ratio of cats to dogs in a room is 2 to 3, then that means there are 5 animals in the room. We're going to look at the ratio of cats to dogs is 9 to 11. So now there are 18 animals in the room, right? We know that 5 of those animals are cats. So we have a 13. Hi guys. Am I there? Sorry, I had to pause that because I had a neighbor teacher come in, and now I'm trying to remember where I was here. Okay, let's go back to the ratio of dogs to cats problem. All right. So, what were we saying? 9 to 11, that'd be 18 animals. Here's what we want to do. If the ratio is going to be 9 to 11, and they are only adding 5 cats to the mix, right? 5 more cats enter the room. No more dogs enter the room. And so we're gonna leave the ratio of dogs to whatever we have for cats at 3. So if we end up at 11, we're gonna figure out what number we could have multiplied by to reduce to get to 11. So if I multiply 3 times 11, I get 33. And then if I multiply 2 times 11, I get 22, plus the 5 cats, additional cats that walked in the room. So now I'm at 27. So I have 27 cats and 33 dogs in the room. Now, the reason I know that's correct is because that reduces to 9 to 11. If I divide both of these by 3, I get 9. 27 divided by 3 is 9. And 33 divided by 11, or divided by 3 is 11. Okay, let's go to number 3. This is Lynn is reading a 47-page book, and she read the first 20 pages in 35 minutes. So I want to figure out how long it takes her to read a single page. So this time I'm dividing the 35 by the pages. 35 pages, or 35 minutes per 20 pages. So if I divide 35 by 20, I get the 1 3/4 of a minute per page, right? And so we're going to use that information to answer the question, is she going to be able to complete this book in under an hour? Well, she's not going to be able to, because if she takes 1.75 or 1 75/100 minutes per page, and it's a 47-page book, we multiply those together and we get 82 minutes. So it's going to take her 82 minutes to read that book. And of course, an hour is 60 minutes. So then here I took the 80 minutes minus the 60 minutes, and she's got 22 minutes and 1/4 of a minute. So 22 minutes and 1/4 of a minute left to read in the book, or 22 minutes and 15 seconds is what that would be. Okay. And then number 4. Diego can type 140 words in 4 minutes. At this rate, how long will it take him to type 385 words? So to get from 140 to 385, I have to multiply by 2 3/4. And so I'm going to multiply the 4 times 2 3/4 to get 11 minutes. Probably maybe the quicker way to do that is to figure out our rate, our unit rate. So how many minutes per word, or how many words per minute, depending on what we want to find. We're trying to answer how many words can he type in 15 minutes. So I did 140 to 4 again. This time I want to figure out in 1 minute how many words can he type. And so I did 4 divided by 1 to get, or 4 divided by 4 to get 1, or multiply by 1/4. And then 140 times 1/4 gives me 35. And so that's how many words he can type in 1 minute. So then if I multiply 35 times 15, it gives me 525 words, which is how many words he can type in 15 minutes. All right, write down hippo on your paper, and then you can draw a little hippo. This will be the secret word for this lesson, and I want to see it on your paper. All right. And the last one we're looking at is a train that travels 30 miles in 1/3 of an hour at a constant speed. And we're going to compare that to a train that goes 20 miles in 1/2 an hour at a constant speed. And it says that the first train is traveling faster, and why? Well, you guys see what I did here? I changed the 1/3 of an hour to 20 minutes, and I changed the 1/2 an hour to 30 minutes. So I'm looking at 30 miles in 20 minutes. It is the same as 3 miles in 2 minutes, which is the same as 1.5 miles per minute. So that's the unit rate. The next one would be 20 miles in 30 minutes, which is the same as 2 miles in 3 minutes, which is the same as 2/3 of a mile every minute. And so, yeah, this first train is going considerably faster. All right. I hope that was helpful to you guys. Thanks for listening. Only 2 more lessons in Unit 2 to go after this.